own words. See, James does not have a fire extinguisher in his house.
Yeah,
If the
so
turkey explodes, if you know, just saying.
but yeah, man. Overall, the holidays is not. I can't wait for these months to be over, bro. And another thing about that is because it seemed like it takes up so much usable time. You know, we're going to be out for a week not doing this, and when Christmas, kids are out for a week. I think it's just everybody needs a break,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
should just say that versus creating these holidays to say, hey, here's the time to take a break. Let's just say, hey, here's a break from the world. Here's a break from everything you're doing in life. You know, so.
Yep.
Okay. Um,
No, absolutely, man. So it was an exciting week.
Yeah, yes, definitely been an exciting week. Got a couple of houses under contract. And before we go into anything else, can everyone please make sure they hit the like button and the share button and drop a comment in the chat. Let us know you're here. I think everybody can hear us. Good
Yep.
morning, B Walker. So yeah, overall, I think this week has been really exciting for us. I got a listing yesterday. It
How'd
should
that
be.
go? Good.
It went great, man. Went great. I think it should be live now. Overall, so the economy is still moving when it comes to the housing market, even though a lot of people don't think it is. It's still moving. Do I recommend people to be buying in this? Even though I'm a real estate agent, do I recommend people to be buying right now? Not if they don't have to. I don't think people. If you don't have to buy right now, I don't think you should. I think we should be putting our money in other facets right now and trying to see how we can double up or try to make more money in this economy.
So when you say that, if you go into a listing, like what are you hearing from the sellers?
Uh,
I mean, what's their expectations?
well, expectations is still I can get more money for my house than it actually worth. Crazy scenario yesterday, we had already did a CMA. A comparable market analysis. If a lot of y'all don't know what a CMA is, we did a CMA about a month ago because they was hesitant. They was kind of hesitant to move forward with listing their home, but they found a home that they loved and they wanted to put an offer in, but it was contingent. It had to be contingent on them obviously selling their home.
Seeing that a lot now.
Right. So with that being said, they couldn't actually put the offer in on the house they wanted because they was being hesitant to list. So now, due to the fact that they're now ready to list, when we gave them the CMAs the first time, they was looking around 330 to list their home. Just within that month, we're now down to 3.25. Not even 3.25. They still wanted to list it at 3.25. I said 320. So with that being said, they're still being a little hard headed on listing at fair market value, something that would actually get their home sold at a decent rate. Because I'm pretty sure if we don't get lower offers like 315, 320, we're going to be dropping that price within the next 2 weeks, especially if they find a house and they have to get rid of theirs first.
Yeah. Well, I think as a seller, I think that they need to understand that what you're saying there, like a month ago was 330. You're looking at numbers 30 days later
Mm-hmm.
and you're at 320. They want to go
320.
325, right?
Yep.
I mean, I get it. I understand, everybody wants to, my motto in a real estate deal, everybody wants to be a winner.
Everybody wants to be a winner. Yep.
Everybody wants to be a winner, right? They want to come out feeling like they won. But, a lot of people don't understand is even the market that we're in right now, there's still buyers for properties,
Mm-hmm.
right? If that house was maybe at 315, you could probably have four offers. Yes, those four offers, because people aren't asking for 10 or 20,000 over asking price
Exactly.
anymore. But if you got four offers at 315, you then now, as the selling agent, can go back to them and say, hey guys, we got four offers. You guys are really close. Send me your highest and best offer and call your brokers and let me know whichever broker gives me a call and gives me all the feel goods that we're going to close and there's not going to be any hiccups. Let's go. You may get an extra $5,000-$10,000 at that point, right? So
for me, I totally agree with you. Because the thing is price. This has always been the thing about real estate, pricing the home correctly. There's been people who try to sell multi-million-dollar homes for 10, 20, maybe even 30,000 over asking. And at a multi-million dollar house, you wouldn't think 20 or 30,000 would matter, but it does. Like a few dollars matter. Buyers and buyers agents, especially if you have a great agent, they're smarter than the person thinks. Like a seller likes to say, "Hey, well, I don't know. Maybe they don't know what the market is doing." Everybody knows what the market is doing,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
except
yeah.
for you. So, trying to get that through to them sometimes is a little painful. Not for me, because I don't mind telling them, "Hey, you're overlisting your property." Because as a great real estate agent, I look at myself as a great real estate agent, even better negotiator. You don't hurt my feelings, by thinking that you know more than me. What hurts my feelings is that you don't think I'm as great at what at what I do as I know I am. By taking my advice, as you mentioned, you can get more offers at marketing the property at the fair market price versus thinking you can get that extra 5 or 10, which is going to cost you more money anyways. The more the house costs, the more I get paid. So I'm not going to argue with you. If
Yeah.
it's 5,000, 10,000 over, that's a couple extra $100 in my pocket. But
Yep.
I mean, you think that you're making more money or saving more money. That's not the case. You can list the property for 335. You're still going to come out roughly around the same once everything is split up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's even if it sells, right?
And then, and right now, if it hits 60 days, 90 days on the market, I mean, that's rent or mortgage payment for 3 months,
Right.
interest, insurance, all of that stuff, right?
That you're
So,
carrying, right?
James, let me ask you this: like when you go to a seller's house, because I know we've got realtors that are either on the online with us right now, or will listen to this later in the day. When you go to a seller's house, right, and you're like, "Wow, there's a lot going on in this house." How do you speak to the sellers and let the sellers know, okay, listen, this is all your personal stuff. I know you want to sell this house. We may need to declutter things and get things away. I know that that's a tough conversation, especially for brand new agents to have because they're not experienced. So someone like yourself that's been experienced and you've gone to multiple listings and stuff like that, what kind of advice would you give?
And actually, that's great that you asked me that question because, excuse me, this house that we're now listing is a perfect example of that. The guy, he's a cop. He's an awesome guy. Him and his wife, his child are lovely people. But when I walked into the home for the first time, I immediately started just looking and telling them, "Hey, we're going to have to do something about this." And again, they're young. They're roughly about 23, 24 years old. So you know how that is. It's pretty much the college dorm rooms. It's not structured as it's a sophisticated living space. But what we did was we actually sat down with them, and like I said, immediately, one thing I do not, and again, Bernadette, do not play around with is biting our tongue on what needs to happen because we know what needs to happen to get this home sold. If we take you out to a house, because one thing she loves doing is pointing out, since we're not listing your home yet, let's go see the house type of houses you want, and then I'm gonna walk you through this house and say, you see how they don't have any personal pictures up, you see how they minimalize this area, minimalize the kitchen area, because again, you want people to come into your home and visualize them living there. They don't want to come into your house and see you living there. I've had a lot of buyers who walked into other people's home and it's cluttered, as you mentioned, and they instantly, "Hey, no, I'm good. Just I don't feel like home here." Or I hate when people are cooking or has just cooked something and their cooking doesn't mesh well with everything, like the purpuree or something. It's like it creates this dilemma with the buyer that they can't see themselves living in your house. So what we did was, Bernadette has this organizer that she used. So she referred them, and we actually paid for this. This is something we paid for. We came out of our pocket ourselves and paid for this organizer to go to their house for a couple of hours, help them pack up a lot of their personal stuff, take stuff off the wall, get things organized, and move to the garage in boxes. Because the goal is we want to prepare to sell. We don't want to prepare for you to continue to live in here. We want to prepare to sell. So why not go ahead and box this stuff up anyways, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's how we normally approach it. We take them out, we show them other people's homes that they love, and show them how empty or how much of a minimalist they are to get them to understand this is what we need to do to your your
James,
space.
James, I think you made two great points right there, especially right now, right? Because houses aren't flying off the market like they were before. Certain areas, but 90% of the area right now, homes are not flying off the market, and you have to do something like that. And I love that you said that you and Bernadette, I almost said her secret name, but I did not. I'll save that. um, that when you have someone that wants to sell their house and is looking to buy another one, you take them to a couple of houses, and you can go into your MLS, and when you get a list of 7 or 8 homes, you can see the ones where people have taken their own photos. Then you can see professional photos,
Exactly.
right? And I think that that is a great tactic. Be like, you know what, James? How about you and Bernadette? I'll come pick you up, or I'll meet you guys at a couple of properties. Let's go take a look. Let's find out what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go back to your house and we'll sit down and we'll talk about listing your house. And then they can visualize, because of course there's going to be 2 or 3 out of those 7 homes that are going to be really nice. They're going to be
Mm-hmm.
clean. Like, I think it's an amazing tactic, and I use it in most all my listings if they allow me. Some people are against it, but I do like a Google Chrome, right? Put it by the front door, play music, and then little kids, 5, 6, 7 years old, they will sit there and talk to it and ask it questions. Like, I put a note that says, ask questions. We respond, and like, so parents can focus on the house and not focus on the
On the
kids.
kids, yeah, running
Yes.
around, touching everything. Yeah.
So it's really cool. And then you said the other thing was decluttering, like an organizer. Like, James, I never thought of that. Like, I'm gonna have to research that here in Florida now. Like, that is like an awesome thing. Somebody, an outside person, pay them
Mm-hmm.
a couple $100
Yep.
to go in there and be like, okay, here's the vision that you want. Let's make this happen. It's just like paying for professional photos. I love it.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
I've been doing real estate since 2007, and I've never thought of an organizer.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much having someone to come in and help you stage your home. But like especially the thing with our clients that we have now is that they again didn't know where to put what. So and again, they have a newborn. I think the baby's like 7 months. She works, he works. Again, he's a cop. They didn't have the time, so it's like let us to show you that we are serious about putting your house on the market and getting it. So let us invest in what you're trying to do as well. We put a little skin in the game. We'll pay for this organizer to come in and get things done so we can get things moving. Because again, I want to get outsold as well because that's my bread and butter. So why not invest in something I have a
Yeah.
huge investment in making money off of anyway? So I definitely recommend any agent who's not using an organizer, especially if they're using someone who has a lot of stuff that needs to be put away and put up. Yeah, have them come in and help you with that with your
I,
clients.
I agree, man. I agree. And if it's not here in Florida right now, I'm sure everybody listening now is like, oh, I'm going to Sunbiz. I'm creating a new business.
Exactly. So, but yeah. So let me ask you this: over this weekend, there was a lot of you sent me a couple of videos. There's been a lot of discussion, with the runoff that's coming up. And also, you sent me something about Trump that I found interesting. Do you think, since now Biden and Trump has both put their bid in to, run for president again, how do you see this playing out?
You mean Biden or just Santos?
No, but Biden as well. Yeah. So so hold on, I'm sorry. Is DeSantos running for presidency?
No, but
Oh,
he
okay.
did say he wouldn't. But I
Okay.
got you.
Yeah. I,
Well, I mean, I don't know what Trump's. There's a ton of support and followers with Trump, right? But I think the breaking news last week on Tuesday or after Tuesday when he stated that he was going to run again for 2024. and Fox News, the owner of Fox News, comes out and says that, he's not supporting him again for this crazy run. Like, that's a big pill to swallow, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of TV time. That's a lot of support.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, when it comes to Biden, I think he needs to step up. Like, there's probably things I can't say that I want to say, but he's got 2 years. At this point, what do you have to lose? I mean, you got to put your best foot forward, and you got to make some noise, right? Make some changes. So, I as crazy as it sounds, man, I love our governor and what he's doing right now. I don't agree with everything, but business wise, here in Florida, like, he's doing what he believes.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. I think DeSantis is definitely a great governor for Florida. Overall, I'm looking at the situation as if what we need for our economy coming forward, especially with all the inflation going on, and I don't. I think we need Trump back, to help us level out our economic future, especially bringing back fracking and helping us produce our own gas. I heard this situation. I heard this term called quantitative tightening, which means this is when the government burns more money than they produce. So they do this because of inflation. Inflation is because they pump so much money into the economy, which is called quantitative easing. Quantitative easing means they're just giving money, and that causes inflation because it causes things to be cheaper. People have more money, but when they need to create more of a spending deficit, they call it quantitative tightening, which means they stop printing money and they start burning more money than they print. Because again, why do the government needs to, or the feds need to save money? They don't need to save money. They have plenty of it to make. They have plenty of product to make when it comes to that. So the quantitative easing and tightening of our federal depository has now gotten to a point where we're going to start seeing people work more, taking on second, maybe even third jobs to survive. So I think for me, we need a president that can bring back some of the things that was keeping our gas prices low, that was focusing on, I understand the Green New Deal. I understand, putting our money behind a more economic stability when it comes to green, like solar panels and electric cars. But then you got to ask yourself again, what's charging those electric cars? What's going to power those electricity doesn't just come from anywhere. So you're still going to need natural gas and coal. Why not start producing that stuff again ourselves? So yeah. I think Trump would bring something like that back to help us further our longevity with our energy sector. That's just my personal opinion.
I read I read this week that I say young adults, right? Between the ages of like 19 and 25, and where we are right now with inflation and everything else that's going on, everybody's talking about, are actually, a lot of them have moved out, and now they are moving back in with their parents.
I can see that.
I mean, rent rates are crazy, right? I wanted to just step back really quick to the Trump, Biden, and I then brought up the Santos, right?
Right.
I said it to my wife and her mother Saturday when we were taking a break from our working around the house, and we started having a conversation about it all. And I'm like, look, if Trump has announced that he's going to run, DeSantis, when I watch, and I only watch debates, I don't watch any of those commercials anymore. I only watch the debates.
Right.
And again, these politicians and stuff are trained and have a lot more help than you and I when we sit out here, right? Like we're shooting from the hips here.
Yeah, shoot from the hips, man.
Yeah,
old school style.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But when they had asked in the debate and they asked DeSantis, are you, you know, are you planning on, yes or no, are you planning on running 2024? And of course, his answer was, well, my focus is now the governor of Florida, the standard beat around the bush kind of deal. I truly think he will fight, and we all obviously know that Trump will fight as well. I think if the two of them are the top two candidates for the Republican Party,
Right.
and let's just say DeSantis wins, right? He gets the nominee. Does Trump step away? I do not see that guy stepping away.
No. Why would he? I mean,
I
Trump.
do not see him stepping away at all. And I think the Democratic Party sits over there and is like, all right, let's let this go.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. I mean, Trump doesn't stray away from a fight. So he's not going to back someone that he felt like he put in office. So that's the thing. It's like Trump feel like I deserve to be above you because I am above you type ordeal. Now, when it comes to DeSantis, and if he does run, I think it's going to be a tight one for me. I mean, I think I'm going to be, I'm gonna be pulled either way because again, I understand what Trump has done, and I understand what Trump would try to do, but I don't want Trump to get back in the office and feel like he has a bone to pick with the world because he lost. So for me,
but he kind of has that attitude, though, don't he?
Yeah, he kind of has that attitude, but overall, I think he's still right now the best presidential option that we have. Biden, I would never put a pen to paper or tap a screen that ever has his name on it to run for anything, bro. Like he couldn't run for he couldn't get me to vote for him to run for the Special Olympics, bro. I'm just being honest.
Trump 2024. Yeah. I don't know. Again, we were having the conversation about it, James, and I personally, like, Trump's not my favorite person in the world. DeSantis, I can back and I can get around. And what I like about him a lot is that he's not 75, 80 years old.
Right. Exactly.
And nothing against that at all. Nothing against
I mean,
that.
no. Listen, we're not,
We're
not going to be ageist here. That's not what we're saying. Yeah. But I've heard it in multiple statements. I don't want my 90, 89, 90-year-old grandmother even driving a car. Why would I want them driving the economy? Like, we can use them for advisors, but we do need a new, younger perspective on our economic growth, and on someone that can actually reach the younger generation to get them pointed in the right direction. So no, it's not that I'm being ageist or you being ageist in any sense, but it's just being logical. It's being realistic. We don't really need. I'm not going to use that word because that definitely would make me sound ageist. We don't need senior citizens running our economy that's over the age of 70. I'm just being honest. Over the age of 70.
Yeah.
So. And how old is DeSantis? How old is DeSantis? He's young, right?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe early 50s, maybe. But what I also like about it is that he has, he's got his generation, maybe our generation, right? Our 10, 15-year generation. But then he has young children as well. So when he's making these decisions, right, for all of us, he's a father. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, my decisions are made. I also think about my children as well. And exactly. He does as well. So, when you're making a decision or you're signing a piece of paper, I like the fact that, he's got 2 young children or 3 young children. I don't know what it is, to give him a little bit, man, maybe I should think about this for another day or so.
Exactly.
So it's just my take on it. It'll be interesting to see. I do hope that they both go battling back and forth because it'll be fun to watch. But, what kind of name calling is DeSantis going to be called and all that? Just crap.
Oh, my goodness. Trump pulls no punches when it comes to name calling, So with that being said, Trump has been, I think he's been put back on Twitter or something like that. But I think he said
that.
He said he refused to come back to Twitter because he's now the owner of Truth Social, or Rumble, something like that. Honestly, I don't use either really. I use either one of those platforms like on a heavy basis. I do tweet out some things every now and then, something that I find funny or sarcastically hilarious.
Did you say Trump Social or
Truth Social.
Truth Social?
Yeah, it's Truth
Trump
Social.
Social sounds better.
I wouldn't be surprised if it became Trump Social in the next.
I'm marking it. I'm marking it right now.
Yeah,
I said it right here today.
it's Trump Social.
Trump Social.
And I do like the fact that Elon Musk has taken Twitter again. I heard CNN left Twitter. I don't think anybody really cares. At least I don't. I haven't watched CNN news in years other than for its takes on
I thought you
Trump.
said TMZ or something like
No,
that.
no, CNN.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But they end up leaving Twitter because of Elon Musk, saying that they don't like the fact that Elon would allow anybody to be on there to say whatever they want to say. I actually think we need more platforms where freedom of speech is valid and can be validated truthfully and not used in these what they call them fact checkers, because again, it's opinions. Like, what happened to people actually having an opinion? That's what I miss about social media. It's like even this channel that we're creating, just the smallest things could get us, quote unquote, canceled in some sense. But it's like, what happened to me having an opinion? As long as I'm not directly causing or trying to create some type of uproar or like some type of direct bashing or criminal activities towards a person or a group, I don't understand why my opinion why I can't have a public opinion on something. It's
do
crazy.
I get a mulligan, being that I'm new to this game and this podcasting and all this stuff? Do I get a mulligan?
Only if you need one. Because honestly, you may say some stuff that's you just find to be truthful in how you perceive something. Doesn't mean it's true to the world, but just how you say something or how you deliver something, people may be like, oh, he's insensitive, oh, he's this and that. But it's like, it's just my opinion. I'm not going out here like forcefully telling people to march down the street or to go out here and commit certain acts of violence against certain things just because I may feel a certain way. So I feel like, we need more platforms and social media platforms especially, where we have our amendment to speak freely and say what we need to say. And man, I think that we was headed down a dark path before these platforms, came about.
I agree with you. I do think sometimes, and I do take a look at certain platforms and kind of scroll through and just get like a sense of what's going on. And I do think in some sense we have some young minds. And I think people are influenced by, when you and I push back an article from one another and we go over it, we just don't accept that article. Like, you research, you go into it. And unfortunately, I think there's a lot of people that don't do that, right? I think you learn that as you get older and more mature and understand things. And sometimes when I scroll through these social media platforms and I look at things, you can see someone makes a comment and then there's 900 like just beating people up. And I hate that, man. Like, I truly hate that, because that does no good. That's some wasted negative energy that you could be pushing that energy on something else. And like, to spend an hour on a streamline beating somebody up from a comment that they made is just ridiculous.
You're right. You're totally right about that. That's part of our economy and our society today. I want to bring something to your attention. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're familiar with it. Maybe you're not. But there's a theory called the dead internet theory, and I don't know. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not. Enlightened.
So the dead internet theory is pretty much, it consists of everything you're talking about. Whenever you see a post or a political post that has some type of structure to it, but you see in the comments there are 1,000 people taking this post or taking this structure and creating a narrative that may not necessarily be painting where they was trying to go with it, where it's just negative comment, bashing. Well, the dead internet theory states that the internet died maybe 10 years ago, and now we have bots. We have bots computer algorithms who are creating different narratives and creating different outcomes when it comes to these social structures like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So you may see someone, for instance, say, well, the Bible, something in the Bible said this and said that. There may be 20 people that agree, and then there's 1,000 people that disagree, and creating this whole narrative about something that's way outside of what the statement was trying to create, and just creating whether it's racial or discriminatory things, just creating this negative atmosphere. But they're saying that it's all bots. Like, you don't really know if you're talking to a bot. You don't know if you're playing a video game with the bot. It says user to user, but you don't actually know if you're talking to a real person on the other end of the screen, because these algorithms and these robots have gotten so smart. I don't know if you know about what Google created. They created this a sentinel robot that can actually speak and converse with you as if it was a real person. Like,
James, wouldn't you, like, if you're in that conversation, right? If you're in that conversation and you see somebody, Joe Smith, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Joe Smith. You know what people do? They click on their name and like look at all their photos and their history and their timeline and all of that stuff. So, I mean, I agree that there's probably bots and there's something going on with this dead internet, but when you look at somebody's name and you click on it and you see their profile and all that stuff, I mean, is it that good? Are these bots that good that they come up with these own photos of people and like make you believe that maybe it is a real person on the other side?
And this is the crazy thing about the dead internet theory. And I'm in the world of entertainment. I've seen a lot of entertainers use fake bots and fake likes and fake followers. It's a real thing. These people, these smart ass tech guys are so smart that they create technology that can create technology, you know? So literally these algorithms can create fake profiles, can create fake images. I don't know. Technology has gotten so scary, bro. They have this, and I love technology. You know, I'm a tech buff, but it's scary at the same time. But they have this computer algorithm that can literally, you can type in, tell it what you want it to paint, and it can go out and paint. It can paint you. It can paint. It can repaint the Mona Lisa. It can literally, you can just type in random stuff and it go and grabs different images and it creates real life paintings, and it just keep getting better and better. You should take a look at that whenever you get a chance.
All right.
Yeah, but these computer algorithms are getting so detailed with creating things that look real. That's the whole purpose of alternate realities and virtual reality, augmented reality, is that these computers can understand that there's only a thin fabric that lays over what we are as humans and what they are as robots. Because again, if you ask yourself, what makes us human? Is it compassion? Is compassion even real? Because I mean, we can all fake compassion. Is it, like, what makes us human? Because a robot can fake compassion. Like, we are literally, maybe a lot of times, a lot of your likes may literally be fake people or robots. You don't know. That's just to keep the user engagement high. You know, it's just kind of what that dead internet theory kind of goes towards.
Everybody right now is Googling dead internet right now.
You know, and honestly, I gotta get us to my wife, because she definitely loves the fact that she's always in it. And she's the one that actually introduced me to the dead internet theory. The construct of it was something I had already thought about, you know, future wise, but I didn't realize that it may have already been here, you know. So yeah. Like, even when the Russia collusion with the Facebook, and they was hacking the, you know, Facebook, and they was running those ads about Trump or about Hillary, that was part of the dead internet theory as well. Because you don't think they had all those people sitting around just pushing that shit through. No, they was using bots to create these.
Wasn't arguments. That what Elon Musk said about Twitter? Like, there was like, that's what he was asking for?
Exactly. Because he was like, where are all these people with fake users, and where are these fake users coming from to inflate the numbers? It wasn't that many actually active users on Twitter as what was being shown. So, but
did we ever get a final number on that?
You wouldn't. You know why? Because
Yeah.
it's Elon Musk is with the shit as well. I'm be honest. He, he's a tech guy, bro. He's not going to.
Yeah.
He used it for his advantage to probably get a
Of
better
course he did.
deal.
Yeah, it
You
was a
know,
negotiation
right? It was a
tactic.
negotiation tactic, but I'm pretty sure he was behind part of creating the dead internet theory. You know, like we need the dead internet theory for a lot of reasons to keep people interacting with social media, to keep people feeling this notion that they're bigger and more famous than they actually are, because it gives them a dopamine shot that kind of, you know, keeps them happy to jump on social media. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with social media, because I'm actually creating my own social media platform as well, but it's just where does it end? Like, is there an end to it, or is this just going to keep evolving? And what is it going to become at the end of the day?
Is it going to be James Truth?
No, it's going to be Truth James. I think, but no, but yeah. Honestly, I love technology. I think technology has a place in our world for the rest of our lives, and
Oh yeah,
I do
definitely.
recommend everybody to up their game in social media and technology, because it's going to be useful in real estate and what you do in insurance as well, and anything else that we're trying to do, especially as a white collar business, you know, that's just trying to expand, grow. You have to get into technology, because technology is going to play a big part in your finances in the future.
Absolutely, James. You spoke. Just to give you an example of that, when we were 18, 19 years old and we got into an accident, right? I mean, you took pictures with your camera, all of that stuff,
Yep.
and then an adjuster would come to your house. Nowadays, you could see the commercials. Like, you get into an accident, pull up your app, take a picture of it, send it in. They give you a price. I mean, it's crazy
Oh
how.
hell, I didn't even know it was that good. But
Oh yeah, man.
okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean, all our CRMs. You know what I'm saying. Our management systems and stuff like that. You get notified. I mean, it's crazy. You can send a text message, all that stuff. An email, a photo. You can look up a house, a property, taxes, everything on the phones now. Technology is nuts,
Oh yeah.
and it's only getting crazier.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree. And I mean, again, I love using it. I'm a big tech buff. I love learning about new things that are coming out, new concepts that could be coming forward. Just out of curiosity, are you into virtual reality? Are you into the VR headsets? Are you into that? I have my Oculus right behind me.
I know
Yeah,
you do, man.
yeah.
So no, I only use the metaverse like with EXP and stuff like that, right? But those virtual, I watch it enough because my son has done it and used it and all of that stuff. Um, I think when we bought him his the first time that we did it, I think I almost took his shelf off the wall. You know, I put up his TV in his room and I think almost ran into that. I was like, I can't do this.
Got you, got you. Yeah, man. But virtual reality and augmented reality is something that I think we all have to start to get comfortable with. Mark Zuckerberg recently came out with a new Oculus headset called the Meta 2, I think is what or Oculus 2 or
I think
something.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, where now you have people giving actual, like, it reads your actual facial expressions, like your whole face. It actually, because he wanted people to connect and feel like they're actually connecting, because there was a disconnect kind of in the metaverse with the Oculus, where it was just everybody was always either smiling or just no expressions. But now it can read your eyelids moving, your eyebrows going up and down. You know, it kind of gives you a full aspect of you're talking to a real live person. I haven't used it yet, but from all of the reviews that I've watched on it, this thing is going to be a game changer when it comes to interacting inside of the meta. Now, I think, I don't know if you ever seen this movie called The Surrogate with Bruce Willis. Him and his wife were everybody pretty much used the surrogate, because I think crime got so high that they, instead of having people leave their home, they'll just have them go into these silicone bodies, but they're using the silicone bodies through this Oculus or this virtual reality, where you can now connect to the silicon aspect of you to go out into the world and handle whatever business you need, you know, whether you're a cop or you're a waitress. But that, I feel like that's where we're headed. We're headed to using virtual reality in a way that people possibly think may not get here to 2040. It may be here by the end of 2020s. That's what I think.
James, I picture with this Oculus that when we bought our sons, it like you draw a circle,
Yes.
like you're inside that circle. Is that how this one's gonna work? Or like I'm picturing like, man, we are so much getting away from like mowing the yard and getting outside and playing stuff like this. I feel like someone's gonna be sitting here with this Oculus. They're gonna be sitting in their chair and they're never gonna leave their home. Am I
Exactly.
wrong?
No, you're totally right. That's the thing. It's like, how do we reduce carbon emissions by keeping people from getting in their damn car and driving, just by stopping from people going outside and polluting the air? Like, we have to realize that this is going to be something that's going to be here and it's going to stay here, and people are going to be less active. You're going to have a lot of people who sit at home and work inside of their Oculus to go to work, to do whatever they're trying to do, especially all the people that are working from home now, and they don't have to leave. But now we're going to host your meeting inside of Oculus, not Zoom. No, here's your Oculus headset that is provided by your company. You have to be in here, so start getting acquainted with it, because this is where we're going to be hosting our meetings.
So if you're doing that, James, can I like walk up to someone and like slap them? Like,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
you can't call HR because you're not getting like a real slap.
I mean, very possible, but I'm pretty sure they'll implement some stuff in there, that can have some consequences to your actions, of course, like sexual harassment and sexual, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that stuff will be implemented in some form, because you have to realize they have virtual VR and VR haptic suits where you can actually feel someone touching you in certain spots. The gloves, you can actually feel what you're picking up and what you're touching. So I'm assuming that would be implemented within these things as well in some form or fashion. It's crazy. I think I'm ready for it. I tell you what I'm ready for when it comes to technology. The biggest thing I'm ready for is teleportation. Like, give me a teleportation device where I can just teleport, just I don't have to drive anymore. I don't have to waste my time driving. Teleportation, and then I think I'll be happy. Don't say you froze up on me. You think you froze?
Yep, you good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's crazy where we are headed. From the Nintendos to the PS5s to the Oculus and body suits and
it's wow, man. But just imagine this as well. Imagine, because even with the Oculus, the goal is to create a dopamine shot that makes you feel happier using these virtual realities, these augmented reality headsets. So whenever you come out of them, the real world doesn't feel the same. You're meeting your friends, you're meeting your loved ones, you're building new relationships within these things. So you want to continue using them so you can go back and connect with these people you're not connecting outside in the real world. So in my Oculus, I've met a lot of people, a lot of great people. I don't actually know what they look like in real life, because you can be anything you want in there. You could be a damn dinosaur if you want it. I don't know, but their energy, I can say, or how you feel connecting with these people is no different than me connecting with you or anybody else in the real world. That's how they got this thing feeling.
James, this Oculus, I'm thinking, man, I may be calling out my age here or something like that, but in this Oculus, I thought it was just for like games. It sounds like you're talking about like these worlds, like you go in, like you could hang out.
Yes,
and stuff like that.
Bro, you can do everything in here, bro. You can go to basketball games with your friends and sit right next to them virtually, and you can go to the movie theaters and hang out. You can go to, they literally got bars and they got hangout spots. It's not just, they got virtual offices. There's again, like we was talking about, EXP was one of the first ones to really do the meta, where we have you can go in there in a virtual world, and connect with people. So it's great for all of that stuff. People are building real estate. They're doing real estate virtual tours in these places. There's so many different aspects of this VR that has change the outcome of where we will be in the next few years. So imagine where people want to go to Vegas. They want to go to Vegas and gamble, or they want to go to the Caribbeans or the Jamaica, and they actually can't afford to go there physically. Why not just paid for a virtual vacation. I spend a week in my headset and I'm in Jamaica. You know, hook me up to an IV and pump some food down my throat while I'm in here. You know, so like, it's gonna be hard to tell the difference at some point. You know.
Oh, so you mean in a couple years I'm gonna have to be like when someone says, "Oh, I went to Hawaii," I'm like, "Did you go personally?"
Yeah, you're gonna have to really question it. You're gonna have to really question it, bro. Like it's crazy. Like it's
James,
wild.
I'm going back to sleep. After this, I'm going back to sleep. I'll wake up and start this over.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, we got to get up out of here. We about to hit that hour. But overall, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can get notified every time me and Mr. White goes live on Mondays at 6:45 a.m. But yeah, overall, we like to talk about a lot of different topics here, not just real estate. We actually like to build rapport. And if you have anything you want to add to our conversation, please jump in the comment section. I do see Destiny said virtual reality has really blown up over the last 2 years. And yes, it's really going to get bigger, and I think it's going to get better, but I think we may I don't want to get lost in virtual reality though. So, but yeah, other than that, this the closing table. Daniel, any last words about the Thanksgiving holidays or anything?
Oh, I'm going to go purchase an Oculus, and I'm going to take my Hawaii vacation. Instead of spending $12,000, I'm going to spend like $2,000, and I'm going to hook up to an IV. No, nothing more. Other than I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Please be safe if you're traveling. If you're not traveling, make sure you get to the store and get your turkeys because it's crazy.
Yeah.
But other than that, James, as always, man, I appreciate you. I hope you and your family travel safe.
Thank you.
Have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll chat with you soon.
All right, you as well, man. Everybody have a great one. Gun Show, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, this has been the closing table.